Hello, everybody, and welcome to my 2 week review on the Google Pixel 10 Pro Fold, right up against the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL. So, non foldable is what I use for the last year up until the release of the Fold 10. Um, let's see, where can we start? So I know I just did a 1 week review on this guy, but I'm so excited about it. It's so refreshing. It's a new category. I know the category's been around for a little bit, but for me, it's a new category and new features, and it just makes it more exciting and new and invigorating. So I think let's just jump right in. So, something you may notice, which is silly, are these little white spots here and here. So I did take off the case on the front once or twice, which was a mistake. I knew when I put it in place I should have just left it. I think if I remember correctly, I took it off so I could put the screen protector on. And by doing that, when you pull up on it, it like stretched it so it moved off to the side. I'm going to find a way to get that fixed if it has to do with removing the stickiness and getting replacement stuff, or if I have to get a new case. Uh, I don't know. However, that may occur, it's going to happen because that's just going to be annoying for the next year. And I don't usually replace the screen protector unless it really, really gets bad, but I can just be more careful next time and be more aware that that could happen. So, anywho, side note averted. Let's move on. So, screens have been amazing. The front screen is 6.4 inches compared to, I'm looking at it, 6.7. They have the same RAM, newer chip, obviously. Um, oh, yeah. Something about this guy is it may become my more permanent secondary device that I carry with me. It doesn't need to have cell service. I just want to be able to use the cameras in case, I go to different locations and different things and like Disney and Universal, and I'd like to be able to have the capability of I'm going to tell you 48 megapixel, 50 megapixel, and 48 megapixel for the optics. And then obviously the front facing selfie camera is 42 megapixel compared to the 48 megapixel standard lens, and then the 10.5 ultra wide, 10.8 telescopic, and then both front cameras are straight up 10 megapixel between this guy up front here. So the quality difference between the outside camera and this camera, they're exactly the same. So you should be getting roughly the same quality. Now you're looking through glass here, and you're looking through their plastic glass or whatever, so you may have a slight difference in quality on this one, but overall they should be the exact same camera sensor from what I can tell. Anywho, moving on to the screens, I find myself doing quick checks and stuff on things when they come up, notifications right here. And I don't text, like as in like typing text. I usually do voice to text unless it's not a situation where I can do so. If I'm wearing my glasses, then I can respond through the glasses, and that makes it easier. But if I have to be on the phone more than a minute or two, why would you buy a fold device if you don't want to go inside and use the actual device? One of my favorite things is, I don't want to show my text, so I'm going to just pull this up really quick, and I'm just going to make a new text. I guess I can't. Let's go into somewhere really quick then. Let's go to Keep. I'll go to the notepad. Text. There we go. So this is just a new text field. So if I click title, then you have this amazing keyboard. And I have absolutely loved that, you can go from a full keyboard like this to a split keyboard like this. And being that I've came from the Google tablet, what is it? Google Pixel tablet. It prepared me for the split screen. And I thought I was going to hate it at first, but I actually thoroughly enjoy it now. And then having a device where it can do that. And, you can do stuff like this and, okay, yeah, the camera and the thing kind of hold it down, and it's not a flat surface. But you can do this where you have typing down here and then the text up here, or if you're in YouTube, you have controls and stuff. I'd like that to expand a little bit like Samsung, just because I've seen some really cool things that they've done, but I'm not against it. And then obviously going back to the cameras, there is the capability of pulling up your camera and then having this and then going into rear selfie where you literally, it says flip it over. And now you have your camera controls, or you have your camera like viewfinder, and then you have this guy right here. So you can actually use the 48 megapixel as your camera, which is really cool. And then when you're done, you just slide it and it switches back. And I do have to say I love the big camera, but then also, nope, not that one, sorry. It's this one. It'll actually show pictures as you take them. It'll preview them right here. And then you can go into your, obviously, all your camera photos and stuff like that. So I've enjoyed the functionality that comes from this. And then you can see I have some pairings going on, which is awesome. YouTube and Google Maps. So it'll pull up YouTube and it'll pull up Google Maps, and you can tap the white thing in the middle and it switches them, which I didn't even think about that at first. So I was always like, expanding that one and then bringing YouTube in as a second. And I know when you make a split, whatever app you choose first goes right and the second app goes left. So that kind of helps me. But then knowing I can just switch it on the fly is awesome. The only thing I don't like is if you go like this, it only does it this way with the fold. It won't do it this way, which sucks because I do like to have the charging cable come off, and you can't have the phone like this while you're doing that. But that goes into this, which is my favorite thing. Again, the Google Pixel tablet has this in a bigger form if you actually purchase the case and it's built in. The same mechanism right here for the hinge, which, yeah, okay, so I got my finger underneath it, but usually I actually pull it off because it's magnetically connected. You can see the G logo because it actually rotates. So you can rotate it on the Pixel Snap capability / MagSafe. But yeah, like I'll do something like this. And then you can watch your entire YouTube video without Google Maps, obviously. But I'll find myself in like Instagram and Messenger. And then I'll have like YouTube playing in the corner or Netflix in the corner, which is just like what I did on my iPad, which is right here. So very cool. So I'm using it to the max. Whenever I get a phone, I always try to use all the functionality, and I've definitely enjoyed every little thing about it. I don't want to leave anything out. Processor is good. It's completely flawless. Oh yeah, another spec to know is that the Pixel 9 Pro XL and the Pixel 10 Fold, I'm just going to say it that way, they both have 16 gigs of RAM. So they're both easily both capable devices of AI and functionality and apps running side by side. No hiccups have I seen. I'm going to take this out of frame because it's not a big deal right now. But I've had no issues here. I mean, there's little software bugs and that kind of stuff occurs on Pixels through time. I've seen people talk about when they have the camera that the bottom part is like showing the previous screen you had. But Android isn't perfect, the software. Apple isn't perfect in the software. And when they see a bug, they fix it, So I haven't seen any major hiccups. I've seen one time where like the screen flickered a little bit while I was doing something, and you could tell it was a software thing, not a hardware thing. But I did purchase, and I don't think I mentioned this before, they used to call it the Preferred Care, but now it's called the Pixel Care for monthly. So I have it technically until I stop paying for it. It's kind of like what Apple Care can do now, where you do a monthly for until you want to stop. So it is covered in that sense. And I'm trying to see, you can see that obviously the screen is not perfectly flat. There's little ripples. But when you're watching a video, the one thing I do find out that if I'm watching a video like this, sorry, it does take a second to rotate. When you watch a video like this, you less see the crease than if you're holding it like this. Not to say it's a bad thing, because I've already like, I mean, obviously with the screen black and stuff like that, you see it, but it's not an eyesore for me. It may be for you because you're not used to it, but it fades away. So it's just a part of the device. But when I'm watching a YouTube video or a movie or something, I always use it like this, because it gets rid of that. You can't even see it because the movie is already running that way. So, anywho, um, what else? Cameras, battery is great. I always leave work with like 50% or even a little bit more, especially after 2 weeks and it's learned my routines and everything. Oh, yes. So the screen has little ripples in it. That's just because it's like a plastic glass, whatever they want to call it. There is a slight imprint, like where something pressed on it a little bit. And I think that honestly, it may have actually gone away. But there were also a little bit of a deeper like imprint, almost like I would say if someone used their nail on the screen or something. Or I don't use a stylus. I decided against stylus on it, even though I was looking at like 5 different types, and I ended up returning all of them except for one because it's actually a pen also. So it is nice to have it in my vest when I'm working, that if there's a chance I need to, I can always, maneuver with it. But I find that with my finger, it's fine. But the things that I saw that came up this weekend, like, and that's not even it right there. That's just a standard, like, screen Flimix or whatever. But I don't see the little imprints anymore. So they could be using the same screen where if it's not deeply engrooved into it, it'll actually recover just by using it with your thumb and moving it around. It's almost like it heals itself to a point. So I haven't seen anything since yesterday, but I did notice it. And my friend was like, "Oh my gosh, I accidentally, like it fell off of the like car mount into the car, and she thought that maybe the screen could get damaged because it is a fragile screen. You've got frosted glass underneath the case here, and then you've got a normal Victus 2, I think, screen here, but then I have a screen protector. So I have no worries at this point to do like this kind of viewing because the screen has a screen protector on it. So I'm game for that. So anyways, we've gone over. I still think this device is amazing. I love the case. I know I tried one other clear case and it was a little cheesier and had sharper edges. This is very smooth. Oh yeah, and the hinge. Love the hinge. It still opens, stops where I want it to. If you get really close to either fully opened or fully closed, it does snap close, but it does have a very good range of motion where it can stop and hold. So thank you again for watching. I hope that this helps people out. I know everybody was talking about like overall, is it better than other folds? I haven't had any other folds since the Fold 3, and I only had it for the 2-week trial period. I still felt like it was very mature at its time, which is funny because this is technically the 3rd Pixel Fold, and I feel like because Samsung has released them and they've had time to look at what they did and then they decided to do what they did, that the device is further along than the Samsung one when it was really the first company to make a fold in the United States. So I appreciate it. I appreciate the battery life. The cameras are as good as they can be inside of a fold, and yes, they can still label it a Pro because of all the other like screen enhancements. Yeah, the cameras, I mean, freaking look at this is the iPad Pro 13-inch, and they only have one camera on it. How often do you use, I know that this is just a tablet, it's not a phone too, but if you have the highest megapixel, like 48 megapixel on the main shooter, everything else is just extra. And if you want something more, maybe in a year or two when they release like the Pro 13 or the Pro 12, I mean, I don't know, maybe the 11 will get a little upgrade on cameras, but I'd rather have the device thin enough to have a nice battery and not worry about a huge, crazy telescopic lens, especially being that Google relies on their AI to help improve the photo quality, which I've noticed that it is better, or it is as good as it has been in the past. So give it a chance, because you'll be surprised. Unless you're a really big photo person and you want it to be the best, maybe the Fold isn't your phone to go with. Maybe your phone to go with is like the 9 Pro XL or the 10 Pro XL with a 200 megapixel lens. So that's going to be your better quality. But overall, love the Fold. Super excited. I'll see you guys again probably at the end of the month. Well, at 4 weeks, and then we'll start stretching it out to like 3 months or 6 months. I just want to keep you guys up to date. The first Pixel drop is supposed to drop in the next couple days, so I look forward to those features. And I'll have other videos out there about other things, maybe shorts and things associated with the Pixel drop. But have a great day. Comment below. I love that I've seen a lot of comments coming in. I hope that this isn't too much, but I'm very excited about it. And I actually just got into the Pixel Superfan group on Discord, which is ran by Google, and I'm also on their webpage and all that stuff too. So I'm looking forward to all the communication with the community over there. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Bye. See you in the next one.